Las Vegas may not have a true fall, but it is great weather for a road trip right now. And when people ask me for my recommendation, north on the US 95 is my go-to. Today on CityCast Las Vegas, we map that journey along what's been dubbed the Bizarro Desert Highway with outdoor adventurer Terry Galura Chong. From the not too far away Alien Research Center to the notorious Clown Motel and so many fun points in between, there's a lot to see. Let's go. It's Tuesday, September 19th. I'm David Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Outdoor adventurist Terry Galura Chong. Welcome back to CityCast Las Vegas.
Thank you for having me. It's so nice to meet you finally, David.
Yeah, Terry, I love this state and I travel around it a bunch. And I know that Nevada has some very strange designation of passages, right? There's a loneliest road in America, which is I-50. There's the extraterrestrial highway up there on State Route 375. And today we're going to talk about the Bizarro Desert Highway, which is a segment of, I think, US 95. So what are the beginning and end points of the Bizarro Desert Highway, Terry?
David, I believe it's from Las Vegas up to Tonopah, which is on the way to Yosemite.
Okay. And so if we go from Las Vegas to Tonopah, is that a trip that most people can do fully to catch everything in a day, or should they take a couple of days if they want to get everything out of it?
No, for sure. When my husband first and I first did it 3 years ago, we just woke up early on Saturday and we were home by 9 o'clock at night. So it's totally doable. And that's, I think, one of the draws because we've done it a couple more times since then.
And I want to get to some of the more interesting stops along the way. But generally speaking, why do you think Bizarro is a good title for that stretch of road?
They're just, not your everyday terrible herps kind of gas station stops where you're going to see sites that are, I think, very unique to Nevada. And it says a lot about our state and some of the things that it's known for that you just won't find every day in other places. And it's what makes it unique and a little bizarre. People, once we start talking about some of these places, I think you'll get the idea.
Yeah, and I read that article from just the brilliant local-based writer Krista Diamond, and I'm wondering if she even coined that phrase because I hadn't really heard it before, but I do think it's apt because it is so wildly different. There's so many different things to talk about. So I think we've teased it long enough, Terry. Let's lay out some of the more notable stops along the Bizarro Desert Highway. So let's go geographically. What's in the first significant stop along what I'm just going to call the BDH?
Okay, I like that. Okay, so stop number one is Area 51 Alien Center in Amargosa Valley. And I'm just going to use North Las Vegas where we live as kind of the direction.
Launch.
Our
Okay.
launch. That's about 84 miles from North Las Vegas. And it's the Alien Center, I think, is like, first of all, again, very unique to Nevada. It's a gas station that was built in 1945 after a UFO supposedly crashed in Roswell in 1947, and supposedly aliens were taken to Area 51.
I just want to make it really clear. I think most people know Area 51 is that allegedly, well, it's there, but it allegedly is a secret installation where the government keeps all our alien shit.
Right.
Whether it's saucers or alien specimens or their ray guns or their technology, it's all there on Area 51, right?
Exactly. So they say, these people at the gas station say that strange things started happening at their location. So this gas station sprung up and now it's like alien themed merchandise with from everything to alien jerky to t-shirts, magnets, stickers, and even alien driver's licenses. It's a fun place to stop, especially because we're known for Area 51. And it's just very kitschy.
And they call it the Alien Research Center. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's your big old wink and nod anyway.
There you go. Very, very scientific. And right next door to that is the Alien Cat House Brothel
Yes, it
that has
is.
been, yes, open since 1970. That's all I'll say about that. We didn't like research that any further.
You didn't
Uh,
go in for a cocktail there because I think
no.
it's open for that. I'm not sure
Yeah.
either. That's Nevada.
But David, there's more. In the same parking lot is Alamo Fireworks, which is home to the world's largest firecracker. And there's a
Yes.
sculpture right next to the store, which is it says it's an IM 800. And right now everything is 20% off. So
Oh, fantastic. Those nasty fireworks that, if you smuggle them back into Clark County, are completely illegal and cause
right.
all sorts of bad fires and people losing fingers. So thank
Which,
you,
yeah.
Alien Research Center.
Which all, obviously all my neighbors shop there. So
Yeah, well, there you
yeah.
go. What's stop number 2?
Okay, so stop number 2 is Beatty. It's a mining town that was founded in 1896, and it became a railway center for mining towns around it, including Rhyolite. And there you'll find these burros that are free roaming, and they're
Oh,
brought to the
yeah.
desert.
Yeah, they're in the street.
They you don't even have to look for them. You pull over and they start approaching cars because they're looking for food, and they are not shy at all. Out here, we go to Red Rock, we're always looking for burros. There, you don't have to look very far.
Yeah, I would say that probably half the time that I'm driving through Beatty, I wind up, snarled in traffic behind a burro. For real, and I'm not
For
going to
real.
honk because I don't want to
Yeah,
scare the animal, but they're just like, this is my town, man. You're going at
exactly.
my pace now.
Yes.
And I'd be remiss to say that, while it's not what we would call a foodie destination, Beatty is like a big town, and they do have some bars. There's some barbecue places. There's plenty of places to grab a quick burger or something like that, but not really, right? Not really
Well,
destination. You're a foodie.
right. Well, and the thing is, and because you're a Vegas kid, you've probably actually been there. Every time we go into town, we always have the Happy Burro chili and beer bookmarked,
Mm,
but we
hmm
never get a chance to stop. So, have you been there?
We have, and it's good.
Okay.
But again,
Yeah.
I'm not driving from Vegas to Beatty to go grab that. Just saying.
Exactly.
No
But the
offense,
other,
y'all. If I'm there, it's fine.
right. The other thing is it's home to the original Eddie World. So if people who are familiar with the drive from Vegas to LA, Eddie World is that gas station with the big cupcake. Well, Beatty has the original. So it's just a
Okay.
huge place for snacks and nuts and candy and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's all right there. And it's next to a small little casino that I
Right.
think has a Denny's in or something. So, I mean, if you forget to pack lunch, you definitely aren't going to be like in a food desert. There's food in
Right.
Beatty. But Beatty in and of itself isn't that much a destination, but I think that there's some stuff nearby there. So why don't you share what that is, Terry?
Yes. So originally, when we first made this trip, the Goldwell Open Air Museum in Rhyolite was really the draw because I had seen photos on social about with the Last Supper sculptures and Lady Desert. And this is an open air museum that was founded in 1984 by a Belgian artist. And there's just several sculptures out there that some of them are haunting, like the Last Supper. And it's basically the Last Supper of Jesus with his apostles. But they're all white figures and they're like basically ghosts the way the artist had done it. So it looks like just a bunch of 12 ghosts and Jesus in the middle. And, the way that it's situated, like if you're there at sunset, wow, it's awesome.
Yeah, and it's big. You could actually
Yeah.
fit your whole body into one of these
Yeah.
sculptures. It's a great photo op, but it's also, like you said, a little spooky
It's a
at
little
times.
eerie. And there's also a sculpture of a miner named Shorty Harris. And if you see it, it's this, you can obviously tell it's a miner, but next to him is a penguin. And you're like,
Yes, it
what the
is.
heck?
Yeah, no, it really is something that people, if they're interested in just the juxtaposition of things that shouldn't be where they are,
Hmm.
Goldwell Open Air Museum is definitely a great destination. We haven't
Yeah.
even hit all the sculptures are out there. The
No.
giant pink lady who looks like she's made out of Legos.
Right. There's a female Icarus, so it's called Icara, and that's just sprouting, in the sky, and it's
Right.
just I love it. I can't tell people enough about this museum.
Let's talk about Rhyolite a little bit. What's the draw of Rhyolite?
Well, it is a ghost town, another mining town that had sprung up in 1904. And it only lasted for about 12 years because, there was the craze with the gold. And then one day, 12 years later, after it was founded, the electricity was cut off. But in that 12 years, they partied like animals,
Yeah.
and what's cool about Rhyolite is there are still buildings there from the original town. They're the skeletons, but you've got a bank, you've got the remains of the train station,
Hmm.
of the school. And so what's also cool about all these stops, David, is all this stuff is free. So you just have to get in your car and you can roam around the town and the museum.
Yeah, we actually have roamed out into the periphery around Rhyolite and found the 1905 version of a washing machine, and just
Oh,
like
cool.
lot of rusted out old stuff, and people
Yeah.
aren't allowed to take it away. It's
Hmm.
protected. So you do find some good stuff out there, and hopefully you follow the rules. But they have had to protect some of those buildings because I think people were being a little aggressive with them. So
Right.
there's a lot of fencing and stuff. So a lot going on in Rhyolite, in Goldwell, open air right outside of Beatty. But then you got to kind of double back to Beatty. I know that. So what's your next stop?
The next stop is the International Car Forest of the Last Church in Goldfield. That's
That's a
quite a
mouthful.
name. Yes. And it's about, I would say it's another hour from Rhyolite to the car museum. This is another open air art gallery of a different sort. So this place was founded by a local named Mark Rippey. He wanted to break the Guinness World Record for the largest outdoor car forest. And he
Car
succeeded. I mean,
Forest.
forest, yes. It's basically an outdoor car exhibit. And you know what, David? There's one in Texas called Cadillac Ranch, and there's one in Nebraska called Carhenge. So I had no idea. But
Carhenge, like Stonehenge.
yes,
Okay.
right. But the International Car Forest is the largest. It has over 40 cars, trucks, buses, and bikes. They're graffitied, they're junk vehicles, but they're sticking out of the ground everywhere. And it's like the most bizarre thing, again,
There you go. There's that word.
one of the most bizarre things that you would see. But
Because again,
it's,
you are in the middle of the desert in Nevada, and all of a
yes.
sudden you come on this.
Yes, it's so cool. I mean, you're like, what am I looking at? Who would ever thought of this?
Yeah, Goldfield, which is the town where this is located, I think also used to be in the day a really vibrant place. It's seen better times out there, but I know that they're trying to renovate. They're not ready to go the way of Ghost Town yet, but there's plenty of things to explore there. There's an old hotel that's out there that's supposed to be, I don't know, haunted. I've heard that. I
Right.
think it's been on like those ghost hunters, etc.
This stop, I would just add, is someplace you'd probably going to spend more time just walking around, looking at all the different vehicles, and
Mm-hmm.
there are some renowned, I guess, graffiti artists who have contributed to some of the cars there. So you'll
Yeah.
see there's insignia like Aware is one of them, I know for sure. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
yeah.
I'm a sucker for old courthouses, and Goldfield has one of the best old courthouses. I've actually got to appear and do cases in there, but it's been
Oh,
some time.
really?
But yeah, very fun to kind of explore around. All right, back
That's
on the
cool.
road, Terry. Uh,
Okay.
we got one more destination,
We've got one more, and which is probably everybody knows about the Clown Motel in Tonopah.
the Clown Motel. I obviously know about the Clown Motel. I have driven by the Clown Motel countless times. I know people who have gone there, but I've never, Terry, actually set foot inside the Clown Motel. So what's in that Clown Motel?
Literally, David, over 600 plus clown figures of all sizes and shapes, and it's the creepiest. I can attest to this, the creepiest place I've ever been to. And I do well, first of all, I'm just like the most not brave person when it comes to this. I don't watch scary movies, but I we had to go here. I mean, you just had to go inside. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it's right next to a cemetery, literally. That I think that's probably what makes it even more creepy.
Just a regular cemetery, not necessarily a clown cemetery.
No,
Although there's
no.
probably some clowns in there, I'd imagine.
Probably half of them. But it's just like feet from the entrance. So, of course, because it's the end of the road trip, it's nighttime. We're there, and I just told my husband, we're going to be in and out of here in 5 minutes. So we walk in to the lobby. The owner is there. It's just him and a bunch of clowns everywhere. And if you have that fear of clowns, boy, do not go.
Or to get over your fear of clowns, that's the place where you do it.
Yes, but supposedly it's been featured on Ghost Hunters and all those kind of shows. And
Sure.
There is another hotel in town that supposedly is haunted also. So I was taking pictures, and I could hear my husband talking to the owner, and he said, my husband was asking about that other hotel, and the owner had said, why do you want to go there? They only have one room that's haunted, and we have 3. I'm like, okay, it's time to go.
Sweet. Well, I'm sure he gets that all the time.
Right.
Did you happen to peek in any of the rooms? I'm guessing the rooms are all clowned out too.
Yes. Well, I heard that they're very reasonable, and I do know people who've stayed there, but no, we did not. We didn't. Like I had my fill, and it's definitely a destination to look at, but I was not going to spend the night.
And the other hotel I'm guessing that they were talking about is the old Mizpah.
Yes. That's
over there,
the one.
yeah, and they did a redo of that some years ago because it had been shut down. It's gorgeous in there. It's a step back in time that's been completely renovated. Very nice stop.
Cool.
A good counterbalance to the creepy clowns. But they have a lot of paraphernalia there, right? I mean, there's a lot of you get the T-shirt, you get all that.
Yeah, but there's like a life-size clown sitting right in the lobby. Oh my gosh, yeah. Freaky.
Definitely.
I think what's great about these trips, though, is you learn a lot about the history of our state and where we came from as far as, especially with these mining towns, right? Yeah. And how artists especially, are still keeping it alive. And, if it wasn't for these stops, I probably never would have visited these little towns. So
yeah. It does sound like a super fun day trip for anyone who really does love the, variety of what we have to offer in this wondrous state. Well, Terry, from alien-themed brothels to giant sculptures in the middle of the desert to old ghost towns to creepy clowns and cars popping out of the dirt, we really got a lot between Las Vegas and Tonopah, and I really appreciate you taking us along the way to experience it, and hopefully people will be inspired to do so themselves.
I hope so.
Terry, thank you so much for coming back and sharing your adventures with us here on CityCast Las Vegas.
Thank you so much for having me again. Don't forget the burros, David.
And the burros. Don't honk at the burros. Just enjoy. Get along. We could all get along. Check out Krista Diamond's article about the Bizarro Desert Highway on Thrillist. We'll have a link in the show notes. That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. Let us know if you hit the Bizarro Desert Highway. Do you know another special road to travel in Nevada? Hey, leave your thoughts in a review under this episode. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Take care.